How's everyone doing? I've missed you all, and today is Thursday. It is about 8:54 a.m., and I was kind of thinking, let's make something. Let's do it real fast. Let's do it in the morning. Let's do a podcast. So welcome back to the Joe Rogan Experience. I'm kidding. This is the SpeedRacinJason Podcast, or whatever you'd like to call it, because I don't think it really has a name yet. I used to do Start the Car a while ago, and that was kind of like my podcast series. I like that a lot. And then, honestly, like right now, I'd love to film a Start the Car, but I can't. I don't even have a license. I don't have a car, no vehicle. And before y'all are like, damn it, Jason, you just turned 21. You already got a DUI. Don't be afraid. I actually just got my license taken away for 6 weeks because I am epileptic, which I think I've mentioned on this podcast before, or at least in any of my videos before. I'm sure I've made a joke or two about it, but I decided that I'm no longer epileptic. Not really, but I just decided I'm not taking my medicine anymore. So when I stopped taking my medicine, I had to go into the doctor's office. And you know what? We could just go into this full story. Like, this is a podcast. That's what's so cool about this. Okay, so the day before, day before Thanksgiving. Sorry, I had to gather my thoughts. It's been a while. It's like December 18th today or something like that. So it's been a while since Thanksgiving. But the day before Thanksgiving, I ran out of my pills. And I was like, And I was supposed to be taking a 500 milligram and a 750 milligram of Keppra at the morning and the night time. And at some point in time, like 8 months ago probably, I just decided I was like done taking the morning ones. And so I stopped taking the morning ones, right? And then I just like kept going, and I was like, okay, well, I'm fine. I'm only taking the nighttime ones. And a lot of the bad side effects that it was giving me, I kind of like maybe came off of a little bit, but I was still noticing them a little bit, it doesn't really matter. Still taking the 750, and then it's the day before Thanksgiving, and I'm out of the 750. I'm out of the 500 too. So I called Walmart, and I'm like, hey, I need to refill this prescription. And they go, you can't because it's expired. And I was like, ooh, that sucks. And so then I like called they were like, we're going to send a request to your neurologist or your doctor. That doesn't really matter either way. They're going to send the request to the office. They send the request to my medical office, and I call them and I'm like, hey, it's like 3:00 right now. I know you guys are closing at like 5, and I don't expect you guys to be open tomorrow on Thanksgiving. So I was just curious. And the lady's like, well, if you're not taking the 500 milligram, you're going to need to schedule a new appointment with him, and like you're due for a checkup anyway. Because I had just kind of been like ducking my neurologist for like the last year and a half. Like I just didn't go to my last setup appointment. I don't really know why, but I didn't. And so she's like, you're due for a follow-up. And I was like, yeah, I'd kind of assumed that, I guess. And she goes, what about, I think it was like December 3rd or something like that. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. In the meantime, what would you like me to do? Because I don't have any of my epilepsy medicine, and supposedly this is the only thing keeping me from having a seizure. And so she's like, well, don't worry, that changes things. I'll bring it to the doctor's attention immediately. And then I sat around here in the office with Abby until like 4:50. It was like 4:45, right? Because I was like, okay, I'm gonna give them up to like their deadline because I know their office closes at 5. So I called there at 4:45, and I'm like, ring, 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 ring. Just takes me to voicemail, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm not taking these pills, and so I don't have any, and like they're not gonna refill them until my appointment, which was in like 7 days. So I just like sent it. I was like, all right, I guess we are like more likely we're going to have a seizure right now. So I was like all nervous and shit during Thanksgiving. I'm just trying to eat my turkey. Meanwhile, I don't know if I'm going to fall over and fucking faint. And so I just like did all of the days or whatever. I show up to my doctor, finally go in after I like sat in the waiting room. I sat in the waiting room. Then the lady took me back, the nurse assistant, whatever she is. She like did my blood pressure, all of the stuff. And then I walk into my doctor's office, and he goes, yo, Frank Sinatra's here. Mister likes to do everything his way. And I'm like, damn, son, you don't know that that's the coolest thing I've ever fucking been called, like. And so he just like we talked for a bit. I told him about it, and he was like, look, I really wish you would have just talked to me before you stopped taking them. And I was like, I tried to. And then either way, it all worked out. And he goes, look, man, like, I'm supposed to kind of take your license away for 3 months again. So, I guess I didn't even mention that. I got my license taken away for 3 months when I first had my seizure, and I started taking the medicine. That was 3 years ago. And after 3 years, you can come off your medicine. And I've always wanted to get off the medicine since like month 2 of taking it, because I was bad at it, and I didn't believe that it was actually doing much other than just like making me angry. And so I don't even know. Where was I at? Okay. Yeah. So he like says that to me. He's like, I should be taking your license away for 3 months while you're coming off. But since you've only been taking your nighttime pill, your 750 milligram one, the therapeutic value that you're getting is pretty much nothing. So you probably weaned yourself off like a long time ago, pretty much is what he said. So I was like, okay, sweet. So he actually limited it down to 6 weeks. He's like, look, man, just do like another 6 weeks without a license. And you've already done a week since you like stopped taking your medicine, so you're like 5 weeks. So yeah, January 7th, I get my license back, which will be very exciting. But I told him, I was like, you don't even have to worry about me driving, because my car broke down the night before I went into my appointment. So it happens. And let's go into that story. How long have I been going right now? I don't want to be boring you guys. Okay, we're only 7 minutes and 45 seconds in. So if you're still here, shout out to you. Yeah, the caliber broke down, everyone. I got footage of it. It's right here. I'll just throw that in right there or something. But the night before my appointment, I was like, okay, I'm going to go do some Postmates. So I went and returned pop bottles for gas money, bro. And I started driving out into like Tigard on 99. And as I'm doing that, all of a sudden the car just goes like, I'm just like speeding up. I'm not like crazy accelerating or anything. I'm SpeedRacinJason, but I wasn't speed racing. I was going like normal speed limit, and I was slowly accelerating, and all of a sudden the car just goes cuckoo and just like kind of kept driving, but I could tell like it was being super weird. And then my engine light starts beeping and flashing at me. So I took it over to O'Reilly's, and they scanned it. They're like, yeah, it's probably a camshaft and a crankshaft position sensor. And then after they scanned it, the engine light like went off and stopped beeping at me when I drove out of the O'Reilly's parking lot. And I'm like, oh yeah, it must be fine now. Maybe it's like a wiggly sensor. I don't know. This car's old, and it's not that old, but I was like, it has some miles on it, 170 to be exact. I'm like, it's probably just old, whatever. It's weird, wiggly sensor. I drive up the road, get one Postmates delivery from Firehouse Subs. I'm like, yes, I'll go pick it up. I drive over there, car's being semi-normal, and I'm like, must not have even been a thing. I make it over to the Firehouse Subs, pull into the parking lot, get the food, come back out, being a good Postmates boy, run out to the car, try and start it up, and it's just like, and it's like half started, but like half not. So it's like firing and just like trying to shut off, and the lights are acting all crazy, and I'm like, oh God, like I don't really know what to do here. And this lady over here in her Jeep, she's parked right next to me, she's just like staring at me, and I'm like, okay, I guess, like I don't think this is gonna work, but now I have this fucking food. I have like 3 sandwiches for a family or whatever. And I'm like, I should probably be dropping this food off at least. So I take the food out of the parking lot, or like I get the car started, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take it to the person. It's on the way back to my house. I'll toss them their food. I won't even shut off the car. I'm driving this thing back home. I start driving out of the Firehouse Subs Cabela's parking lot. As I'm pulling out, the car just dies. And I'm like, great, because I'm stuck in the middle of this parking lot. Meanwhile, lady in the Jeep finally pulls out. She's now behind me, pissed off, honking, as if she didn't see that I was already having car troubles. You could tell she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I didn't just decide to hang out and kill the car right here. You saw it over there trying to fucking save its life, and now it's dead completely. So I don't know what you would like me to do. And so I get out of the car, and I'm like, I'm going to roll it back, so you gotta back up. And she just like looks at me like, huh? And so I fucking push the car back into this parking spot all by myself, and I just sit there. And I'm like, what do I do now? So I get onto my Postmates app, go on. I canceled the delivery. I called my dad. He goes, hey, I'm not home. Maybe you could convince Dylan to come get you with the trailer. So I called Dylan. Dylan said he's going to come. I'm now excited. So I just ate the rest of the Firehouse Subs in my car, and then I waited. They showed up. They put the thing up onto a trailer and brought it home. And then I had to have my mom drive me to my neurologist appointment the next day, who then took my license away. So the car is just sitting down there, and I need to fix it, but I don't really need to. I have another time constraint that won't let me drive anyway. So it's like, until January 7th, I really don't need to fix the car. But I'm sure I will be fixing it soon, and that will be a video that will make it up onto the channel, because the Dodge Caliber is monumental to this thing. You guys remember it, I believe. We all painted it. I let everyone go to town on it. Abby, Tanner, Jesse, Ethan, Alec, and Tanner Ladd, and all those kids. Dude, they all came over before and helped out, and then a lot of them stayed and actually helped with the painting process. So I don't know. Like, that's kind of my car. Like, if it's broken down, I really don't know what to do. And like, the shitty thing is I was like telling Colby, like the day he was over, before I went and did Postmates, and everyone that day, I was just telling them, I don't know how much the Caliber really has left in it. Like, I'd love to just keep driving it forever. And then that night it broke down. It heard me like talking about it. It was like, yo, bro, don't you fucking doubt me. I'm a 2010 Dodge Caliber SXT. Don't you doubt me. That's what it said. I don't know. How are y'all doing? How y'all doing today? It's kind of a early morning. I think I'm probably going to post this actually at like midnight tonight, because that's when my internet works. And that would be Friday then. And I think that would be a good day, because I've been telling everyone, I'm like, dude, I got to get the podcast going again or something. Like, my friend Trey, who's been in a few videos, he's the one that let us drift at his house in his BMW. He messaged me last night and goes, what? And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, you messaged me. And I was like, no, I didn't. And then he screenshotted it and then sent me. And I don't know what my phone was doing, but it like sent him a weird message on Snapchat. And he goes, and like, we talked for a second. I was like, oh, nice to talk to you though. And he's like, where them videos at? And I'm like, I really don't have any valuable, reasonable excuse of why there is no videos other than nothing. There's no reason. I have no car and no fucking license. I can't leave the house. I only get to leave when someone asks me if they want to leave. So I should be filming a podcast. Like this morning, you know what I was going to do if I didn't film this? Fucking nothing, man. I clean the office. And I clean the office and I clean my room. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm like, I finished all my tasks. I'm like caught up on all my work. I've been doing all my stickers, getting those all busted out for everyone. Like, I'm literally just sitting here. So there's no excuse. And I made a deal with him. I was like, look, bro, if I post something, you got to watch it. He was like, oh, of course I will. So that's how we ended up here. Dude, let's just get some drinks of water, because I've been talking for 15 straight minutes, no interruptions. Nobody else is here to like let me breathe, so. Holy shit. So yeah, I don't know. I was already saying I needed to get a podcast going again, or just something that I can communicate with you guys with. And like, the podcast is so easy because I can just sit down for however long I want, communicate directly with you guys, and not like even stress about anything. I'm just like, it's super easy to sit down and talk for the most part. Sometimes I blank out, and sometimes I go on tangents, and I don't necessarily wrap everything all back around, but I try to. And yeah, but like I think how I even got here was I was saying it'll come out tonight, which would be the Friday, and I think Friday would just be a good day to post it. I'd love to just like start posting them on Fridays, and then, you know, you get into a groove. I start having people over. Like, this table's big enough for 2 people. Like, I just burped a little bit, sorry. But you guys are like, I mean, like the camera's over there. I could move the camera just diagonally over there and place another person there. I got a GoPro over there. I could set up, get this wide angle shot of both people talking back and forth. And I don't know. As long as I keep doing it and I actually keep doing it in here, I should upgrade to other things, you know, like a microphone right here, like a hello, you know, podcast type mic. Because right now I'm just using this lav mic right here on my shirt. But I think it's doing better than the camera's original mic. And I actually broke my nice microphone. I was really sad about it in this jacket. Up at Spirit Peaks, I had my Rode microphone up on top of my camera on the hot shoe mount, and when I stuck it into my jacket because it was raining, it just pushed the microphone back and just snapped the mic. Like, I don't know how good that plastic was. Like, an expensive microphone, and yes, it sounds good, but they spent no money on the plastic is all I'm saying, because that thing snapped easy. Where's it at? It's up there. I could go grab it. I'll grab it in a second once I'm done and just like, I'll just do it right now. Okay. Oh. See, this is how it usually is right here. And then the little hot shoe mount down here screws onto the camera. It's on its shock absorber. I think that's the technical term for it, but it bounces up and down. Yeah, I stuffed it in the jacket and it just put a little pressure right there and just went snap and then broke. So now I have two pieces of the microphone and it just kind of wobbles back and forth, and I don't really have the ability to just leave it up there. I mean, I could, I guess. Like right now I'm not doing anything. Like the camera's not moving, so I could just kind of like jimmy rig this bad boy up on there like that or something. But what I was saying is, if we start doing this more often, you guys are liking it, I'll get like the nicer shit, you know, record better, record a little better. What do you guys think? Like, what's some questions? How is everyone feeling? Like, when I did start the car, it was nice after I did the first start the car, because then I had like a section for comments, you know, down below, and people would ask comments on like the previous start the car, and then on the next one I would just answer them, which made it a little easier sometimes to talk about things, because I think I've told you all the updates in my life other than, you know, like, I mean that's all of it really. So I'm like, I've just been sitting here working, can't do anything other than sit here. Like, my mom takes me to the store. That's like the only time I get to go out, or when Abby takes me. I think Abby's going to come up after this podcast, and if she wants to do something, that's always nice, because then I make it out of the house for a minute. Oh, yeah. What are we even at? Let me pull this bad boy out. We got 19 minutes. I don't know. That's pretty close to 20, and I think that's probably good. Like I said, leave some questions down below, and then I'll have more things to talk about in the next one. Here's a question that I know what's going to happen. Where's the 240 at? It's sitting outside, still here. Not getting rid of it. Like, it's not leaving. I just haven't been financially able to toss any money at it. I can do a few things, I guess, like a little video. Like, I should just clean the thing up in general, like just wash it, you know, make it look pretty and stuff. But I do plan on doing things with that. I don't know. I guess this was another thing I was thinking about, like right before I got my license, is I was like, I don't know, maybe I need to get an actual job. Like, I was doing way more vinyl work the last couple months, and then it's like December right now. It's pouring down rain. We're supposed to be flooded out and shit. Like, nobody wants stickers right now, for the most part, other than the companies that I always do it for. And like, that's not a lot. So like, right now I've just been kind of poor, and I was like, I don't know, I think I'm going to need to get a real job instead of just doing these Postmates. Like, these Postmates aren't paying off well enough. And then, yeah, all of the things broke down. I don't know. The life kind of went like this. It was like spiraled downhill real fast. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy how fast that can happen. So if you're in a dark place right now, good job to you. And I hope you'll make it out, because I'm about to. It's not even that dark for me. I'm just missing out on driving. That's all that really is. But that's a lot to me. Like, I do Postmates for the last like months, bro. And anyone that knows me well knows that I love just driving around doing Postmates, listening to music, listening to a good Joe Rogan podcast, listening to whatever I would like, and just cruising. I don't know. Oh, yeah. The reason I even brought that up, though, I wasn't just bragging about being poor. I was bringing it up because I was like, I know people are going to ask, where's the 240? And the 240 is still here, live, running well. It does all of the things. I just like don't have any money to really work on it right now. But I'm hoping that I will at some point in time. I don't know. If I'm being honest, bro, I'm really starting to lose faith that the YouTube career is going to blow up. And it's my own doing, though, you know, like I haven't been posting enough. That's part of the reason I needed to start the podcast or just anything, I guess, to get it some sort of like creative juices flowing through me again. You know, like I guess I just haven't really been doing much that I was like, this needs to be filmed. And then that in turn makes you guys not get videos. And then you guys are like, huh, is he alive? What's happening? And then to top things off, like, anyone else that knows me, my phone has not been working for probably like 4 or 5 months, like maybe even 6 months at this point, because all the Samsung Galaxy S10s do this thing where it like just doesn't get service if you have like one of the old ones, like one of the first models that they made. So I sent my first one in and had them replace it, and they sent me a new one, and then that one does the same thing where it just says emergency calls only. And then I send it in for a third time, and the phone still does not work. And I know half of you are like, get a fucking iPhone. And I'm like, look, I like my Android, and this is the only time I've ever had an issue with it that's this bad. Like, it just straight up does not work at my house whatsoever unless I'm on Wi-Fi. And you guys definitely know that I don't have Wi-Fi. Like, I do, but it's so slow, and it only works like past midnight 90% of the time. So like, if I try and send a snap, I've been trying to send a Snapchat to Abby. It's like this video of me just singing out here in the office. It's literally been taking like 45 minutes. So the reason I even brought that up, I guess, is the fact that I was like saying that I'm not posting enough YouTube videos. I'm not on Instagram either. I'm not on there liking things, because when I get onto Instagram, I just see a white fucking page. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm liking right now. And I don't post anything on there either. So like, I just feel like the YouTube career isn't even going to take off unless I'm trying. And I feel like the last couple months, I haven't been trying hard enough. I'd say the last year, honestly. Like, I've been doing stuff, obviously, and some stuff's super cool, like the car, like, you know, and there's like those bits that like go crazy. And I like going out to all the drift events and shit, but I'm like, I was almost better or like more YouTube productive at fucking 16 years old than I am now, you know? And I think it's because I get nervous, and, you know, everyone gets nervous though and shit, so it's not a valid excuse, but I'm like, do I really want to be like trying? Should I keep putting myself out there for those 100 people? And fuck yeah, I should keep putting myself out there for the 100 people. Dude, the 100 people are the only reason I started it in the first place, you know? Like, and I'm finally getting there, you know? Like, it's just not exponential growth, and sometimes that can be really dissatisfying, I guess. But like, I shouldn't even be thinking about it like that. And I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is that was maybe a little apology, and also just talking to talk and getting some of the emotions out, because I don't have a therapist. I don't have enough money to pay for a therapist, so I'm just kind of talking, you know? Talking to you guys, getting those thoughts out there. And I guess it's also my way of saying that, like, hopefully, like, this is the start of something else that like keeps me super motivated and going. I think that's a good spot to end it. So one more time, comment down below any questions you guys have, any topics you guys want me to talk about. Please like and subscribe. If you have not already, please just like the video in general. If you made it all the way to here, I appreciate you very, very, very much. I love you. Have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.